Hello everybody, welcome back to another best comps video, and this is going to be for patch 10.8 that just got released. So I'm going to name you guys the best comps that you can use to win in your ranked games. The first comp we have here is the 6 Star Guardians and Sorcerers. This comp just got better with other comps getting nerfed and a whole bunch of Star Guardians getting buffed. So in here, of course, you collect your 6 Star Guardians, you'll get mana regen for your whole Star Guardian team, and you're going to itemize your Sorcerers, Syndra, Vel'Koz. You could also itemize Ari if you got her to 3-star, but your main focus is going to be Syndra. And the best build for her are going to be 2 Seraph and a Rabadon, or you can use Seraph and the new Chalice that did get a buff that can regen your the mana for your whole backline here. But with this build, Syndra is going to have an instant cast, and you're going to aim to 3-star your Syndra for this comp. And you want to ideally 3-star her at level 6 or 7. That means you want to roll your gold down at around those level ranges until you get her 3 stars. If she is only at 2-star by the late game, very late game, you're going to have problems and this comp will fall off. But this is a guaranteed top forward to a near first place. Every time if you get a Syndra 3-star, you can also 3-star Nico as well. And I like to put Guardian Angel on her so she gets a guaranteed ult. The problem with this team is that you don't have a lot of tanks, and that's why Nico is very beneficial. Poppy doesn't do much, unfortunately, so Nico is a great tank, and she does a lot of crowd control as well. So you can give her Morello's and Ionic Spark to reduce the enemy's magic resistance as well, helping your whole team. Vel'Koz, another great item carrier. That's why I put like Jewel Gauntlet, Morello, Seraph on him as well, as Vel'Koz does a ton of damage. You can also make Vel'Koz into a Star Guardian if you want for faster mana regen. And then finally, we have 2 Mystics here with Lulu and Soraka at level 8, so you can have some magic resist for your whole team. This is definitely a top tier comp right now for rank, so give it a shot. Now let's move on to the next comp. It's going to be the classic Infiltrator. Mech Pilots, still super strong. Mech Pilots got a slight nerf in this patch. However, this comp is still top tier. It's very hard to deal with Shaco and Kai'Sa jumping to the back line and eradicating your whole team. So in this team, we have 2 Demolitionists, 3 Mech Pilots, 4 Infiltrators, 2 Sorcerers, and 3 Dark Stars in the final level 8 build. However, you can stick and stay at level 6 to roll your 3 golds. So the primary strength of this team comes from Shaco and Kai'Sa. Ideally, you do want these 2 or one of them to be at 3-star. And for your build on Kai'Sa, you're going to have a Demolitionist charge, Seraph, and Morellos. With Demolitionist, you can stun the whole enemy team, burn them with the Morellos as well. As Rumble is a demolition as well, so your Mech Pilots will be able to stun with Rumble. And then Shaco, of course, still very strong in this patch with Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster. You can have a Guardian Angel so he can revive. He's still going to be one-shotting a lot of champions in the backline. So you want to ideally 3-star Shaco and Kai'Sa at level 6. And then after that, you can add in Lux for the Sorcerer bonus, Karma for the 3 Dark Stars, Echo for the 4 Infiltrators, or instead of Echo, of course, you can have a Kha'Zix if you don't have him yet. But ideally, you do also want to hit 4 Infiltrators for the big Infiltrator bonus here to boost Shaco and Kai'Sa. And of course, try to 3-star your Rumble and Annie as you play the game. And this comp should be really strong, guaranteed first place if you can definitely hit the 3s on Shaco and Kai'Sa. So let's move on to the next build. It's going to be 6 Cybernetics. This comp did get a nerf. A slight nerf at 6 Cybers. However, this comp should still be really strong. You're going to have 2 Mana Reavers with Thresh, 2 Chronos, and 3 Blade Master with Shen. So Irelia, once again, is still your primary focus in this build, and you're going to give her big damage items like Infinity Edge. Deathblade got a buff in this patch, so this could definitely be stronger as she will get more stacks as she kills more enemy champions. Guardian Angel can revive her as well. And then you can itemize Lucian, Echo. You can give Echo some red buff, Giant Slayer, Morellos, anything that gives him on-hit effects so you can hit the whole enemy team with extra effects. And then you can add 1 items to each of your Cybers here, Vi, Fiora, and Leona, to give them the Cyber bonus. But aside from that, this comp is exactly pretty much the same as the last patch. It should be a top 4 comp for sure, even though with a slight nerf in the Cybers. Cybers have always been strong, and they're still going to remain strong. Once again, focus on Irelia for your carry, not Echo. So try to 3-star Irelia in this comp and you should do fine. The next comp I have for you guys is the Blaster Brawlers. They're still pretty good. Lucian got a slight nerf, but everyone else got untouched, with Jinx actually getting a slight buff. So in this comp, you have 4 Brawlers, very easy to play, and 4 blasters: Lucian, Misfortune, Jinx, Ezreal. And you want to itemize Jinx, of course. She's going to be your strongest carry in this build. Giant Slayer, Runons, Red Buff are the best builds as you get more blaster on hit procs. And Brawlers, of course, get a ton of health for your frontline. Chronos give you some attack speed for your whole team. Misfortune is great with any Jeweled Gauntlet, Rabadon, any ability power items with Seraph or Spear of Shojin, so she can cast her abilities faster. And in this comp, you want to ideally 3-star your Jinx. Jinx is going to be your best carry, of course. If you get her to 3 stars, it should be a 1st or 2nd place by the late game. If you don't, you might end up in 3rd or 4th, depending on how strong the other teams are. This comp is very strong in the early to mid game, but it does fall off in the late game if you don't get a 3-star Jinx. Alright, the next one we have here is going to be another Brawler comp. 4 Brawlers, 3 Voids for true damage, 2 Chronos, and 2 Sorcerers. This is the Void Brawler comp that was doing pretty well in the last patch, and now it's still pretty good as none of these champions were really touched. Once again, true damage very strong right now because they can easily cut down mech pilots that have a lot of health, and they can also deal with protectors and other tank comps. So Cho'Gath, Vel'Koz, Kha'Zix are your main focus. I would itemize Cho'Gath as well if you did want to, but your main carry here is going to be, of course, Vel'Koz, and you do want to try 3-starring Vel'Koz in this comp. Vel'Koz really good with Morelos, Rabadon, and Seraph, of course. Allows him to fire off his ability a lot faster, and he can deal a ton of damage, of course, with his laser beam, and true damage will just melt everything on the board. And we have Twist of Fate here for the Chrono and Sorcerer bonus, because that is going to help your team do a little bit more damage over time, and you're going to get the 20% extra spell power damage for your whole team, which is really nice. So this team is really strong, and it should still be good in this patch as nothing really was changed. So true damage, definitely not to be underestimated. Give this build a shot if you still haven't. The next build I have for you guys are the 4 Protectors, 4 Mystic, Classic, slow roll, 3-starring all your protectors here: Xin Zhao, Jarvan, Nico, Rakan. And you can also try 3-starring Sona, Soraka, or Karma here. But ideally, you do definitely want to hit 3-star on Xin Zhao and Rakan. These two actually are going to do most of your damage in this comp, of course. And the 4 Protector comp, just like before, is exactly the same. They're all about trying to out-survive your opponents. We're going to have Bramble Vest, Dragon's Claw, Titan's Resolve on your 3-star Xin Zhao, and 3-star Rakan is really good with Morelos, Spear of Shojin, and maybe a Rabadon. He's actually a very good spell damage caster. Nico is once again really good with Guardian Angel and Morelos, as she can survive with Guardian Angel and deal more damage with Morelos. So these are the 3 protectors you want to try to itemize. And I put 4 Mystics in this comp because 4 Mystics are doing pretty well, as Sorcerers like Star Guardians and Vel'Koz comps are really popular right now. As you guys have seen, the comps I've shown you before, they do a lot of magic damage. So 4 Mystics will help you in the longer run, in the late game, to beat those comps that you're most likely to fight in the top 4 positions than the other comps. So this comp is very strong right now if you can pull out the 3 stars once again for your protectors, and you are able to put in 4 Mystics by the late game. Next, we have the B-Bros comp, and I just made a video on this, so go check that one out. But this one is going to focus on Shen, Yasuo, and Master Yi. Sona as well. You want to 3-star these 3 champions ideally. Sona should be an easy 3-star if you can pull her off as well. But you want to itemize Master Yi ideally in this comp, and the best items on him are Bramble Vest, Quicksilver Sash, and Guinsoo's. And the reason why is because he's going to be your main damage carry. He's also going to need to survive with the Bramble Vest and not get crowd controlled with Quicksilver, and that's what makes Master Yi so strong. If you do not get him to 3 stars, however, you're going to have problems, but no worries, you can 3-star your Shen and Yasuo. One of them should definitely be at 3 stars. If you're going for this comp and no one else is really contesting for it, you should definitely try to get 3 stars for at least 2 out of 3 of these champions. And in most cases, that should be enough. So Shen is really good with tank items as well. Bramble Vest, Dragon's Claw, so he can survive, and he's a tank for your whole team. He actually got a buff in this patch, so Shen is a little bit stronger as well. Yasuo, really good with big damage items like Infinity Edge, Giant Slayer, Deathblade, so you can do more damage, more on-hit damage to your opponents. And I like to have 4 Mystics as the final build. The reason why I do this, once again, is because right now Sorcerers and Vel'Koz comps are dominating the meta, which means you're going to need to have a lot of magic resistance for your team. You could try putting in Celestials, or you could put in more Chronos in this build. However, I prefer the Mystics in most cases, but if your opponents, if most of the top 4 comps do not have magic damage, then you're safe to go into other stuff like Celestials and Chronos. Lastly, we have the new Darkstar comp, and Darkstars unfortunately have fallen off in this patch as there are just better comps out there right now to play. Darkstars, of course, you go for the 6 Darkstars here. 2 snipers, classic Jhin and Ashe combo, 2 celestials, Lulu and Ashe giving you some healing for the team, 2 mystics, Karma and Lulu giving you some magic resistance. Very important to have nowadays. 2 sorcerers, 20% extra spell power for your whole team instead of Shaco, because now we have Xerath. So I think 6 Darkstars actually got a buff with Xerath, as now you have a useful sorcerer bonus as opposed to that Infiltrator bonus with Shaco that was never used. And Xerath, his power is questionable. He isn't really played that much right now, even in sorcerer comps. In this comp, we have the new champion Xerath, and Xerath is really good with large rod items, Morellos, Rabadon, Guinsoo's. You can give him many Guinsoo's if you want. He scales with attack speed, so he's really nice. You can also put Karma next to Xerath, so you can give him extra attack speed boost instead of Jhin. So depending on who's stronger, if Jhin is stronger, if you're able to 3-star Jhin in this comp should be really strong. So Jhin and Xerath are going to be your primary carries. Jhin really good with large blade items, of course, with like Infinity Edge, Giant Slayers, and Last Whisper to reduce enemies' armor. And this is all about just protecting Jhin and Xerath in this build. And I wonder how consistent this build is going to be. So far, Xerath, unfortunately, being a new champion and being very cool and all that, isn't seeing a lot of play. As in sorcerer comps, there are better carries like 3-star Syndra and Vel'Koz, which are just more consistent than the 5 gold expensive Xerath that you may get in the late game and that you may not get. I hope you guys enjoyed my patch 10.8 best comps video. There are certainly more comps out there that you could possibly build into and go for top 4, but these are definitely more consistent, except for this last one right here. This one is a little bit questionable, but I believe the 6 Darkstars with a new Xerath can definitely pull off some wins. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys have any other comps for me, you can post it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.